To begin with, can you tell me your name?
Yes, my last name Nguyen, Nguyen, and my first name Hieu, Hieu, and my middle name Duc.
And when were you born?
I was born on February 2nd, 1948.
So, if let's go back to the early 1970s,
Yeah.
before the end of the war. Could you tell us about your life at that time?
You mean 1975?
Before
1975, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I have worked at headquarters of military office. Okay, and my job was operation officer, and until April 30th, 1975, when the North Vietnam they invade the South Vietnam. So after that, they put me in jail for 6 years.
So you worked for the military?
Yes.
As a
Military police.
As a military police.
Yes.
And were you married at the time? Did you have children?
Yeah, I was married and I got one daughter. And my rank, my last rank was first lieutenant.
And you were based in Saigon?
Yes.
What were your memories of the fall of Saigon at that time? How did your life change?
Oh, I got a big change because I fall to the bottom of the line because I don't know what to do, and because at that time when I want to escape, I want to run away from my country, but I prepare everything because my brother. He was leader of army transportation, so he got a ship. We prepare everything, but on afternoon on 29 April 29, 1935. So we prepare everything, but the last minute around 8 or 9 o'clock. So because of his family problem, so he changed his mind. He said he cancel. He doesn't want to go anymore. So at that time, the curfew time at that time, it's around 9 o'clock. So like I got a handcuff. I cannot do anything until the April 30th, 1935. So I surrender. I cannot go anymore. So so that's why I have to stay in Vietnam. And the Vietnamese communists, they give the notice that about the major rent, you have to bring the money for 15 days, enough for 15 days to survive. And the lieutenant, rent lieutenant, so you bring 10 days money to survive. But after when I present to the authority Vietnamese communists, so they moved me to some camp, and at that time, 6 years. And I got a release paper. Would you like to see the release paper?
Later.
No, but no, because the thing is, when they release me. They give me a release paper, but they say that accused and 3 years jail. But I never go on trial. But what a violation of the crime! I will be accused for 3 years. But actually, from actually in the release paper for 3 years. But after 6 years, exactly 6 years. They released me.
What was prison like? What was it like living in
very,
education?
very, very bad. I don't know what about the concentration camp in German, but very, very miserable and very suffer. You know why? Because they never hit you. They never beat you. No. But they squeeze you up by your stomach. No food. So I can tell you that something they can move and animals they can move, I can eat that. I swear, I can eat that. I tell you, right now, I'm excited.
I was asking about the conditions in the camp for 6 years.
You know, no food. Every day, every morning, they give me 7 slices of menu, khoai mì menu, and they cook from last night, like the nose and very sticky, like something in your nose, and you have to eat 7, 8 slices, and you have to go to the field to use the shovel to dig to go work in the field every day like that. And you know, at noon they give me a small bowl of rice, but with some water, like water and some bug on the top. But we have to eat that and nothing. And afternoon it's the same thing like that. For year by year by year for 6 years, something like that. You know, so that's why, you know, nothing vitamin in my body. So, you know, every time when after a few years, 3 or 4 years, and I take a shower, when I scratch my and skin come up, you can believe it. That our life, and you know, the people, when they want to speak up against an authority, local authority, they put you in the cell. They put you in the cell. Yeah, very suffer with 3 spoons of salt water and 2 spoons of rice every day like that. And you know, a friend of mine, when they were in jail, but you know, they got nothing to eat, nothing in his stomach, and you know, when his store get some blood, and he write the wall, communist paradise. They use the blood to write the wall, communist paradise. Yeah. So, you know, we try to survive when we go to the field. We eat what I can move like a frog or something. So, you know, ống thuốc lào.
It's kind of like a smoking pipe.
Yeah, no, but lửa charcoal pipe. Yeah, so we put the frog inside and we eat that. We don't need to clean up or something. Eat that. For protein, because nothing protein like I told you that morning 7 slices of manioc, and at noon a small bowl of rice, at afternoon small bowl of rice. That's it. And you know, they terrorize your brain, like they want to watch your brain, like every night we have to have meeting around the colleague, okay. And you accuse me. You say that you do like that no good, and I do like that no good, and we can accuse each other, and they stand still. They keep silent, and you know, they just observe. And whoever speak up to against the communists, they're gonna give you a hard time and put you in jail. Yeah.
Was your camp far away from the city?
Oh, I forgot to tell you that from 6 years, they moved me around for around 6 or 7 camps. Every year they move you from this camp to the other camp. They never put you around 2 years for one camp. No, Yeah.
Are they in the south or?
All in the south because my rank was first lieutenant, so they moved me around in within South Vietnam, but you know like a captain, above a captain rank, so they move you to the North Vietnam. Yeah.
And did your family have a lot of chances to visit you?
Oh no. No, they got no chance to visit. Like one time at Bien Hoa camp, so they got one time for my family visit me with some food give to me, and you know we decided when they moved me to Tuy Hoa that at army. Second, like quân khu 2 á. Yes, so they never let you because at that time no information, no contact with my family. So I got lucky. One guy, he got so much problem and ulcer. So they moved that guy to the hospital in the town. So you know that guy he told me that when I die, you give me everything for my wife, and you know. So I said, okay, now I write my address to your bag. You know, just in case your family come to visit you. Just give it to them, and I got family to visit me. At that time, first time I got my family visit me. Yeah.
Your wife had no idea where you were the entire time.
No, at that time I stopped contacting. No. So at that time only my family to support me. No wife at all. No wife.
No wife.
No, I got a wife,
yeah.
But she left me.
She left you.
She left me. She doesn't care about where I live and how I survive, blah, blah, blah. No.
Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
When did that happen?
Only 1 year later. 1 year later. So I heard the news from my colleague that my wife, she go with the people and she make up, go with the people. So I sent her a letter. I said, don't do like that. I send you a letter to accept for you to remarry with the other people. But don't do that, make me feel ashamed. Okay? So from that day going, no.
So now it's your siblings and your siblings and your parents who took care of you?
Yeah. And you know, I remember my mother. She already passed away a few years ago. But you know, she take care of me very, very, very hard. From Saigon to Tuy Hoa, and around one day, I think that one day, and she brought something for me. Oh my God, my tear out because I can't believe it. But what can you do? So, yeah.
So, when they finally let you go, it's 6 years after 1981.
Yeah.
Tell us about what your life was like at that time.
They released me on June 1991. So from that day, I got nothing to survive. So I just took from everything from my house to sell it to survive, to get the money to survive. Okay, and one day my neighbor where I live, so she welcomed me because when I come back she didn't see me, so she asked me if I want to escape. I said okay, Okay, I agree. But you have to take me to go how you organize the escape. Okay, and she took me of that. So finally, I agree. And at that time, I only 2 pieces of gold per person. Okay, I pay you 1 piece of gold first because I got my 2 brothers who live in Canada in 1979. So they support me and to give them 1 piece of gold. But in the long, around a few months later, they cannot handle the escape. So she asked me to cooperate as a partnership, to have all the escape. Like I said, okay. Before that, I was a guest, but now I become the partnership. So I got my 2 friends who was released the same time with me. So they was Navy officer. So I asked them, okay, if you want to cooperate to organize the escape, they said okay. So at that time, I got 2 friends of Navy officer and me, and we called the guest and the guy at the center of Saigon, the guy who built up the boat. He's manufacturer to make the boat, and his sister she's in charge for that local authority. So about the security, okay. But now that guy, he built up the boat. But we need to a machine about the diesel, about the food. So we asked the guests to come to participate the escape. And every person we pay 2 pieces of gold, and my 2 officer Navy, they have to go to the seaway to check the coach guard schedule, what time they work and what time they come back, and because very difficult when we organize the escape from the center of Saigon. Very, very difficult because the river close to the road. So the bridge very low to compare with the boat. So the 2 officer Navy, they have to go back and forth for around 3 months to check about the level, water level, high, low, and what day they go higher level for 3 months. So so we get around at that month within only 3 days. One of the 3 days, they got the low water level, so we have to move right away. And we asked a guest, we got a guest 109 person, and we have to rent. We have to rent the house beside the boat builder. So every time the guests who visit that guy, so we got because the wall by the wood, so we remove, and when they come, I put them there for 3 days, because we don't know what day is exactly the water level that low. So we go right away. Okay?
Can I ask you a few questions to clarify?
Go ahead.
Okay, so when you say that the water is low
Yeah.
enough for you, is it low enough for you to pass under a bridge or something?
Yeah, low enough to pass so the boat pass the bridge. Nobody can believe that the boat can pass that one. But 2 officer Navy, they go, where every time they pass, they go hold like this, the touches the bridge. So every day like that until someday the water level low, so we can move.
And that's 3 days.
Yeah, around 3 days. Because we cannot put 109 people for a month because about the toilet and the food, accommodation, shelter, very easy for local authority. They know that and they catch everything. So only 3 days, and within the 3 days, before the 3 days, we move the guests from time to time, around 2 or 3 or 4, blah, blah, go and stay inside just one house, besides the builder house.
109 people.
Yeah, 109 people. And beside it, 2 officer Navy go to Rat Sỏi. I don't know about the go to Rat Sỏi, the one xuyên. So we got the river, one side, the left side, very shallow, and the right side that are deep for the ship they can move it. But at that time we have to go the left side because when the right side the communists they very easy to catch me, and finally we get stuck around the mud at the left side, and but we have to predict everything. Like we got bamboo stick, very long bamboo stick. We push and back the boat, and the exhaust pipe we have to put under the water because the piper when they go to the over the water, so the Vietnamese communists easy to see that where we go. So we have to put the pipe, exhaust pipe under the water. Yeah.
Why did you go with a boat that was being built instead of buying a new boat?
No.
Buying somebody else's boat?
Oh, no. It's not easy to buy. Beside it, and the engine. Now that guy, the build the boat, okay, and he bought the plastic, very big plastic from US, so contain around 2,000 liters. See, they put plastic, they put on the top of the boat, and they put the water inside. The one thing. The second thing about the machine, because we got a big engine. We got a big engine like 6 engine, 6 lốc đầu bạc đó, very big. So we have to move part from part, not move the whole thing. Go no way, no, you cannot do it. So we hire the mechanic, move the part from time to time, and to install the big engine, and beside it, the base underneath of the engine, 10 by 10 like this. Otherwise, the big engine, the poles are going to be broken. So the base underneath of the engine, very big. And we got container around 4,000 liters of diesel. And at that time, when we bought the diesel, they got a fake diesel. They mix up with asphalt and petroleum. They mix up, and cannot work. So we have to buy around 4,000 real diesel to escape.
And each time you bought a tiny amount, a small amount every time?
Yeah, small amount. We move by a small boat because the river at night time. From time to time, around 1 can 20 liters, around 4 can and 8 can, and something like that.
But why did you plan to leave from the middle of Saigon? Why didn't you do this in the countryside?
No, because at the countryside, I don't know any friend. But at Rise Center, they don't know. They don't know that they can believe that we can escape Rise Center. And and after that my escape, and the next boat around a month later, when I escape and they find out around afternoon, then the Viet Cong on the both sides of the river, they shoot them all. They shoot them all.
That could have happened to you. It's very
No,
risky.
yeah, because then I escape at night time, and at night time around 10 o'clock at night time. But you know that boat, they escape around 5 or 6 o'clock p.m. So that's why they know they find out, they shoot them. Because one of my friend and my neighbor, who died because of that escape. So that's why I know. Yeah.
And just one more point of clarification. The first time when you just got out, and then your neighbor said, you know, come with me on this boat, this trip.
Yeah.
And that trip failed.
Yeah.
What happened to that trip? What happened to that plan?
Oh, that's very, very good. Only one trip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's the same.
Yeah.
Same plan.
Yeah, same plan. And took 3 days from Saigon to Indonesia. Yeah.
How long did it take you to prepare?
Oh, around almost 4 months.
4 months.
Yeah. From the day they released me on June 1991 to October 1991, 4 months, only 4 months. I organized except only 4 months. I escaped.
And during that time, you went back to the house that you had before you were in prison. You lived in that same house?
Yeah, I lived in the same house.
But your wife and your daughter were no longer there?
No.
Did you ever see
she lived with my daughter in her parents' house. Yeah.
Did you ever see your daughter at that time?
Yeah, my daughter at that time, but my wife parents, they don't want my daughter to go with me. So they don't want to my daughter live with me. So I have to complain to the local authority, but they say that the kid should go with mother, not go with the father. That's okay, fine. So you know, when I escape, I have to leave my daughter stay in Saigon, because you know, when I take her go with me, and my wife and her parents will report to the local authority. So I'm going to get big trouble. Not only me, but 109 people. Yes.
So, how long was your journey?
Only 3 days or 3 days and a half, because I got a big engine and good mechanic. So you know, they install, build up the engine like a brand new, So we have to test every day, test the engine. So everything fine. Nothing trouble with me on journey from Saigon to Indonesia. Yeah.
Can I ask one more question?
Oh, go ahead.
How did you test the engine without taking the boat out?
Cái bằng ủi bãi, không biết cái ủi bãi là gì đó, cái chiếc tàu mà thí dụ như cái máy vậy đó. Sorry, I speak Vietnamese language. We have to push right that land, the border. Just push, go and engine running, and just go to the border of the land. Go like this.
To the shore.
Yeah, to the shore. Every day, test like that. It's not go to the river, no. Yeah, just let the engine running, but just go to the shore.
So your first time, your trip was the very first time that you
Very
tested
first time.
the engine on water.
Yeah, and you know, I know that because I asked my friend, 2 officer Navy, and I asked about the gas and to contribute the money. I know that in case the communists they catch me, they're gonna shoot me. But you know, I accept that because I have to exchange the freedom or die. That's it. Yeah.
Did you encounter any mishap on the journey, during the journey? Any
No.
problems?
No problem. Because we prepare the water, 2,000 water under the top, and we prepare the food for the people, so we don't have any problem at all. And you know, when we went to the international seaway, so we see all the big ship go through. So we are okay. We don't need to put the sign SOS anything, because we can take care ourselves. We don't need international help.
And you headed for Indonesia.
Yeah, Indonesia. And the first island, the Benigi, and the people, Indonesian people, very nice. So they report to the authority, and I stayed there around 2 or 3 days. And after that, they moved me to Kuku Island. Yeah, at the Kuku Island, that we got UNHCR present out there. So they interviewed. So after that, they know me that I was a military police. So they suggested me to interview the people, the next escape for the next boat, and to interview them. Some people with Viet Cong, and they penetrate to the trip. But you know, when I report by Vietnamese language, and I asked Father Tap to translate into English. After that, I have to type by myself and report to. I know that guy, Mr. George, that UNSCR representative in Kuku camp. Yeah. So they know me that I work hard for them. So you know, when they move me from Kuku to Galang camp, so George, they see me off, ride the brake and shake my hand and say thank me. Okay, I said that's my duty. Yeah, I have to work to help what the UNHCR need me.
Were you paid for that job?
No.
Volunteer?
Free, yeah.
How did you screen people?
Stream?
You screen. Your job was to screen people to
Yeah.
make sure that
Yeah,
screen
that
their background.
yeah,
Do
but because my job was security. Was a military police officer, so I got trained. I got trained about how to ask, how to view the people, and to my observation, I can know that who is the true or false.
Because you were working with no data, no paperwork,
No,
nothing.
no.
You relied entirely on interviewing skills.
No, but I got a paperwork too. When they say something, I have to write down, and after that I write by my report.
Yeah. But like in Vietnam, when you were military police, you
Yeah.
might have records, documents to verify people.
No. That are the different cái ngành khác nhau đó mà. Yeah.
This is interviewing.
Yeah, no, just interviewing.
You ask them about their background, and then you could tell.
I asked them why you escaped from Vietnam. What did you do when you was in Vietnam? Are you sure you are not communist to penetrate to the escape? Right? And you know that if you tell me the truth, if you lie, I'm gonna ask UNHCR to put you stay here forever. It's up to you. Okay?
Viet Cong, the communists, the soldiers, and the North Vietnam communists, North Vietnam soldiers, were they allowed to claim refugee status?
At that one, I no idea. I got no idea. Yeah.
Because if you were screening people, you were looking out for people who might sabotage.
Yeah.
Might spy
Yeah, yeah,
on other refugees.
yeah.
But if they were Viet Cong people
Yeah.
among seeking refuge, were they allowed?
That depends on the UNHCR, not my job. I just write the report this and with my idea, with my opinion. This guy good or this guy bad, and the rest is up to the UNHCR. I don't know.
Did you catch anybody?
Not really, because they said that I asked them why you escaped from Vietnam. They said that because they don't like Viet Cong, they don't like communists, so they escaped. But what can you do now? Because I escaped, and that guy got a right to escape, same like me. So I cannot torture and hit them to say something. No, right? Because they got the same situation like me. So it's up to UNHCR, not for me.
But you help provide the background and the history, the personal.
Yeah.
So how long were you there at Cuckoo Island for?
Cuckoo Island around 3 months. 3 months. So after that, they moved me to Galang refugee camp. Then I got a privilege that the form B3, cái diện B3, B3, to have a privilege to go to USA. But I don't like. So I don't fill out the form when USA present in the Galang camp. But I fill out the form for Canada and Australia.
So can you explain diện B3, the B3
That for form B3, that for the officer from South Vietnam who got at least 3 years in jail. 3 years in jail in jail. So we got privilege to qualify to enter USA.
Why did you not want to go to USA?
No, because not good alliance. Nói không phải đồng minh tốt. He abandoned the South Vietnam and sell it to South Vietnam to China. So I don't want it. Even though that when I read about the history that America, they got lots of power, were very, very rich, more than, and they say that more than Canada. But I don't want it. I don't want it. Because when I read in the history about Canada, very peaceful country, very nice country, very nice people, and they welcome the people very nice. So that's why I decide to enter to Canada, because beside my two brother, they came to Canada before me. Came to 1979, 2 years before me. So I know that I make decision that okay, I enter Canada, and I think that I make a right decision to enter to Canada.
They were also boat people, your brothers.
Yeah. So the boat people.
They came in 1979. They fled by boat to refugees.
Yeah.
Where did they live?
Then in Toronto too. Yeah.
Did they sponsor you?
Yes, I did. But when I got interview with Cayenne officer in the camp. So I don't know why they say that. Okay, I accept you, but I don't know who sponsor me, my brother or the government. But when I came to Canada, I find out that the government sponsor me, not my two brother. Yeah, and the first thing I never forget that the counselor from the immigration officer, Canada officer, when she picked me up at the airport. So she asked me who can speak English and a little bit to translate for the people, because some people they don't understand English. So I said, okay, I can interpret or translate a little bit, not too much. So we became a friend at that time. But actually, she doesn't sponsor me because she's a counselor. Only Canada government they sponsor me, they supply me everything. Yeah, and we make a friend from that day going from 1982, April 1982, up to now. For 37 years, so they still keep in touch, and we have a good relationship. Yeah.
So, how long were you in Indonesia refugee camps altogether?
For 6 months, from October 1981, so to April 1982. Yeah, I came to Canada. I landed to Canada.
And how did you know that you were going to? How did you decide that you were going to Toronto?
Oh, that time I have to appreciate that Canadian officer. So I think that he got sympathy with me, because he asked me why you got first lieutenant rank first lieutenant, why you stay for too long. So I said, you know that because I have worked at prisoner of war camp. So you know that they hate me so much. They want to put me more longer than that. And you know that they got sympathy with me. So he recommended me, okay, go to, before I want to go to Ottawa. But he said, no, because over there, no job for you, only white collar. So Toronto, lots of factory, you can find a job. So, you know, finally I decided to stay, live in Toronto from April 1982 up to now. Yeah.
What was your first impression of Canada?
Oh, very nice. Because first I see the counselor. She treat me like a friend, so I think that, and after that, everyone from immigration officer, they treat like a friend, very friendly. So you know, when at that time, so I think that when I live as long I live in Canada, I have to build up Canada, same like my second nation, motherland. Okay, so from that day going up to now, I can tell you that I never violate any law and rule regulation. And to my neighbor where I live for 25 years, I got a relationship with our neighbor.
Do you have a story any stories you can tell that describes the friendship that you had with the counselor?
Oh, the counselor. So when she when the first night she picked me up at the airport, so she sent me to the Waldorf Astoria Hotel at Church Street something. So she asked me, okay, next day you go to the immigration office, and she explained everything. And she give me some check to go to Hornet S to buy furniture, to buy clothes, everything. So you know, we go through some conversation. So she think she understand my situation. So she asked me, okay, very, very friendly. So around 1 or 2 years later, we still keep in touch, and she invited me to go to his family to have a dinner or lunch with their kids, and introduce me as like a friend, and a brother or sister. So from that day going, we get together, and every Christmas time we send Christmas card, and we go to some restaurant and to get together. Very nice, yeah.
What's her name?
What's her name?
Yeah.
Her name is Thelma Ingus.
And she worked with settlement or.
No, she worked at immigration office, Canada immigration office, as a counselor. Yeah, and her name is Thelma Ingus. Would you like to see her picture?
I'll get that from you later.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So tell me about your experience settling in. Did you get any English training?
Yes, I was sent to George Brown College, and around 4 months, and I got a certificate, certificate English second language. And after that, I go out and look for a job and to work until now.
How long did it take? When did you find your first job?
My first job as security guard, and I got the certificate from Ghana government and to certify that I'm qualified to work as security guard, and I worked at CNE to check the ticket. But at that time, April 82, at that time they pay me only $4 an hour, and so boring. Because I check only go at the door and back forth, boring. I said, no. I just work one day, and I quit. And the next job as the line, assembly line for the fluorescent. Yeah, around 1 or 2 months, and. While during I'm work down there, I still look for that job because at that job pay good money. So I find out my company right now. So I apply for the job, and he asked me if you can work because I got an interview daytime. And he asked me if he can work in the afternoon. I said, okay. So the first job at that one, and I worked for 25 years and that company up to now. But because my company unionized company, but I dare not to mention about that company name because after that, I got some struggle with the company because I was a shop stealer. So all the time I fight with the company. So they don't like me. I think they don't like me. But no way. And I don't care. And every term for 3-4 years, Tom, we fight for our benefit by collective agreement. Yeah, until I retire, they pay me a good benefit, good package until now.
And what was your job? What did you do?
That machine operator. Yeah, my company we make a car seat. We car seat from here. Yeah, we make car seat, and over there we use chemical. Very dangerous chemical. We so-called it isocyanate. So very dangerous. So they have to have the code, the law to use that chemical. Very dangerous. I know some cases they died because inhale that chemical, exposure chemical.
Is exposure over time or immediately?
That chronic.
Chronic.
Because chronic, not acute.
Yeah.
Because acute that affect right away. But this is chronic. 1 year, 2 years later, died. Yeah.
And you made car seats.
Car seat, yeah.
Where was your company located?
Kipling Avenue. Yeah.
And where were you living at the time?
At downtown, Jane and Finch. Yeah. But my first house at downtown at Blandford, Roger and Oakwood. Yeah. So when I worked at my company, so me and my wife we bought a house in 1986. I landed to Canada in 1982. 1996, I bought a house at that time. Yeah. And I worked for that company from now.
And it sounds like your first job at the CNE. CNE is in the summer.
CNE summer, yeah.
Summer. So you arrived April '82.
Yeah.
And in August you were already working.
Yeah, yeah.
So 4 months.
Yeah.
4 months you found your first job.
Yeah, yeah.
And when did you get married?
I got married in 1988. Yeah. But I've been married from 1988 and up to now. We got no kids. It's okay.
So did you ever have an opportunity to reunite with your daughter?
Yes, because after 2 years I landed to Canada, so I make an application to sponsor my daughter. But you know, with the condition, okay, I give my ex-wife some money, so they allowed my daughter to come with me. Okay, so I agreed. I gave them some money, so they allowed my daughter to come with me. Yeah.
She still lives here.
Yeah,
in Toronto now?
yeah. Now I became grandpa. I got 3 grandkids. Now my older grandkid, 22 years old. Yeah.
You know, how long do you think it took you to feel like Canada is your home?
Oh, that one only from the day I got a job at my company. When I find out everyone immigrant, color people, so we treat like a family. So I think that from that day is going. So I think that that this is my family now, my second family, my second homeland, motherland.
What were the challenges? What challenges did you face as you settled into Canada, into your new life?
Oh, the settle very, very hard because when I got a job in my company, because that 3 shifts rotating, they rotate every week, so I have to rotate every week. Like this week where we work day shift, and next week you work midnight, and after follow week you work afternoon. Very, very difficult for me to sleep. And I have to keep my balance. Otherwise, very easy to get unbalanced. Yeah.
So work conditions.
Yeah, working condition. So that challenged me a lot, because so many people they quit job because they cannot stand for 3 shifts rotating. Even though that we got a good pay, good benefit, but the ship rotating, very, very easy to get along. Yeah.
What were the factors that helped you integrate?
I think that because my character, that I am honest with people, and I help people, and I think that when you are honest people, so people will honest with you. If you treat the people nice, the people will treat you nice. So that's equal. So that's why I keep the integrity that all the time we have to be nice with the people and honest with the people, and the people will give back to me the same way I give it to them.
And so 40 years now since the fall of Saigon.
Yeah.
What do you think of the life that you have made in Canada?
Oh, that quite different, very quite different, because when I stay in Vietnam, when after 1975, when I live under communist regime, no human rights, no freedom at all. But when I landed to Canada, oh my God, I feel free. I can say whatever I want, and I can live where I want. I can sleep with security. Not at night time they knock your door and they take you away, but you don't know your family, you don't know where you are. Yeah.
And what do you think of Canada's response to the refugee crisis?
About the refugee crisis, I think that depends on the proportion of unemployment. But, like let's say that, for example, Canada unemployment, the number very high, but now you accept the refugee, so it doesn't make sense. You cannot afford, you cannot take care of the Canadian people. Now you for the refugee come, how you can afford it? And when beside it, when you accept the refugee, you have to select for the people who got well educated. Not whoever they come, no good like that. Because they make no good security at all. Let's say that in German, the Prime Minister Merkel, she let the refugee camp and make the people, they don't feel secure at all, like before. Okay? So that's why, I think that the company, the government, they have to check about the number of employment before they let the refugee come to Canada.
What do you think we can learn? What do you think the future generation can learn from your experience as a refugee?
That's a great honor for me to share the experience for the next generation. First of all, about their career, because when you are in university, when you graduate, you have to look for a job, okay? But first of all, you have to feel the health and safety by yourself. You have to protect by yourself first. Nobody protect you. Even though that the company and they hire you, give you a good salary, blah, blah, blah. But you have to protect health and safety by yourself. Because if you want to keep your job and you don't care about your health and safety, just in case you got wounded, you got injured, you got accident, so at that time too late. That's the first thing. And the second thing about communism, socialism. Have you ever asked about by yourself that any capitalist they escape to communists? Only the communists escape to capitalists. Why? Yeah, you have to ask yourself, and because we got a limited time to have an interview, so we cannot a very long story. But to my experience, don't relate or make friend to communists. You gonna make mistake. Okay, thank you.
Another question I have, besides the work, besides the time that you spend at work, are you involved in community service?
Yes, I am. I'm involved to committee to support Vietnam human rights and democracy, and officer reserve cadet, and Vietnamese Veteran Association, and when I work with committee to Vietnam support democracy and human rights, so every year we raise a fund to collect the money and to support for the dissident who stay in jail in Vietnam. Yeah, because we are lucky when we live in Canada, but we have to remember the over 90 million people, Vietnamese people, very suffering, very miserable under the Vietnamese communist regime. But outside, when they side with the United Nations, that they respect human rights, democracy, blah blah blah. But actually, when in inland in Vietnam, they don't have any human rights and democracy in Vietnam, and so far they put 256 dissidents in jail. The one who speak up something against the communists, so they put everyone in jail. So that's why we every year we raise a fund to collect the money to send it to that dissident or to his family who got a hard time and in trouble because they have a relative in jail. And one more thing, besides it, when the time I worked at War of Control at Vietnamese Veteran Association, so me and Mr. Tân as president of Vietnamese Veteran Association, I was the one who make application form to send it to City Hall to ask the permission to do a ceremony to commemorate on the Black April 1935 every year. And year 2009, I was the one who make application to send it to City Hall. Yeah, and every ceremony, so I was a leader to lead the group to salute the flag. And luckily now we got to raise the flag in our official in City Hall, our flag. And now we cannot say that Vietnam flag, but that yellow flag with 3 stripes, that's the symbol of democracy and human rights of Vietnam. Yeah. Okay. The last word I like to say that I express my gratitude to Canada and to Canadian people for their generosity to accept all the Vietnamese immigrants to come to Canada. Now every life in Vietnamese life almost are settled. So God bless you, Canada and Canadian people. Thanks.